part of Project 571, genetically engineered vampire created to destroy evil.
What do you want?
We need your help to kill a vampire.
Malleus Maleficario. It was written by a witch. The first witch. Titania.
That was a little snippet from The Witch's Hammer, the first film I ever solo directed, and it's just been remastered and re-released on Amazon. So if you like witches and vampires, then please do check it out. Anyway, let's get on with this week's episode. So since we talk a lot about film distribution on this podcast, I thought I'd give you my brutally honest truths about film distribution. Now, I've made 8 feature films, they've all been released. I've used various methods of release. My most recent film, The Apocalypse Box, has been released through Indie Rights, and I've also recently regained control of some of my old titles, and they're being released through Film Hub. But in the past, we've gone through sales agents, and we've even gone direct to distributors. So hopefully these brutally honest truths are going to help you get your film distributed and protect it along the way. So here we go, number 1. So let's start off at the beginning. When you're making a film, you really need to look at the competition. If you don't, your film won't stand out and you won't get those streams, those views, or those purchases. The way to solve this is before you make your artwork, go onto Tubi, go onto Netflix, take a look at the homepage, take a look at your genre, see how your artwork and your title would fit in amongst those other movies. If it would stand out, then you've got a chance of getting people to click on your project. Most sales agents are out to get you. Well, this can sound a little paranoid, but the way you need to look at it is it's a negotiation. I can't tell you the amount of times I've looked at a contract or had my producer look at a contract, and we've been horrified at some of the things that these sales agents are asking for. We've all heard the horror stories about marketing fees, sales fees, legal fees, percentages. But obviously, in any negotiation, one side is always going to try to get as much out of the other as possible. And I imagine as an indie filmmaker, you won't have a legal team looking after you. The only advice for this is to read the small print, is to trust your gut. If you don't think the person is going to look after you, look after your film, do your research, chat to filmmakers that they work with and see if any of them have been paid before. Go into those conversations knowing what you want and what you're prepared to sacrifice to get it. Reviews really matter. They matter for a number of reasons. And the types of reviews you're looking for are reviews on the site the person's purchased or streamed the film, reviews on IMDb, and reviews from content creators within your genre. Those reviews are going to do 2 things. The first thing they're going to do is they're going to send people to your film to watch it. The other thing, unfortunately, if we're talking platforms like Amazon, those reviews are used to factor how much you get paid per hour streamed of your film. So if your reviews are down in the basement, you won't get paid as much as whether they're up top. Start engaging with relevant influencers and review sites very early in the process. Get on their radar so they know about your film when it's finished. This brings me on to the next one. Unfortunately, your film will get pirated. The day the movie comes out or shortly afterwards, it will appear on a pirate film website. What you can do is contact Google and they'll take that link out of the search results whenever you type in the name of your film. This will help because it will mean that most people search for it won't even see that link. However, all the people that use pirate websites will know where to go and know where to find it. Piracy, unfortunately, is part of the business. Your film will get pirated. It's also worth uploading your full film onto your YouTube channel. Keep it as unlisted. What that'll mean is you can use YouTube Studio to see if there's any content matches on your film, because some people might upload your entire film onto YouTube and make money from adverts. If there is a content match, you can fill in a form on YouTube and hopefully get their version of the film removed. Your film will get review bombed. As an indie filmmaker, you're competing with big budget Hollywood films. You're competing with everything else that's out there and that has a much higher value than your project. So when this film goes on pirate sites or when it gets released on streaming, people are going to be just as tough on you as they are on big budget releases. So unfortunately, you're going to get low reviews. You may even get a ton of ones from all these people on pirate sites, and they're going to push that score down on IMDb. They're going to push your star rating down on Amazon, and you need to get that as high as you can. What you need to do is get all of those ratings up, so you need to encourage your audience to review your film on all platforms. If someone enjoyed the film, get them to review it. Do be aware though that you shouldn't review your own film on platforms like Amazon, as this will affect your credibility and Amazon doesn't like it, so it might impact how much money you make. It's hard to find an audience. This is a tough part of filmmaking, finding that audience. I've had this experience myself where you finish a film, you love the movie and you think everyone's going to love it. And then you realize how huge the internet is, how many people there are out there, and you've got no idea of where to find them. And the first step you might think would be, oh, I'll go put some posts on Instagram, I'll put some posts on Facebook, I'll chuck some stuff on TikTok. But really, all you're doing is screaming into the void, unfortunately. What you need to do is be very focused with those posts, and you need to find those audiences that love the genre you're within. They might also potentially like some of the cast. If you've got a couple of sort of genre names in your film, maybe go after those people. You need to go where those people are, find your audience, and they'll be the ones who'll purchase and watch your movie. One of the ways you can do this, and I have had some success with this, is to go onto Reddit, look at some of the chats on there, look at some of the forums for horror, for example, which is my genre. You have to be very careful with these, because if you spam them with comments about, oh, watch my movie, watch my movie, watch my movie, you'll probably get barred, kicked out. So be careful with that. You need to be an active member of that community so that when your film does come out, people know who you are and they want to watch it. If you can figure out who your ideal viewer is, you can direct them to your film. Talking about promotion, people will only see a tiny part of the promotion that you do. So if you put 10 posts up in a week, you'll be lucky if someone sees 2 of them on their wall, speeding past. So never feel like you're posting too much, because you want to reach as many people as possible, and the only way is really to do a lot of posting. So prepare a release plan, figure out what days you get the most views and engagement, and prepare a lot of content ahead of the release of your film so you're not chasing your tail when it comes out. It's never been easier to release a film. Now that might sound like a positive, a brutally honest positive. However, the problem with that is it's never been easier for everybody else to release a film. So there are hundreds, thousands of filmmakers all releasing their films on all these different platforms. Some are going with sales agents, some are getting them out on a short DVD release, some are getting into cinemas, most are going on to Tubi, Amazon. So you're competing with all of that content, all of those films that are out there. Unfortunately, because it's easier to get onto those platforms, there's a lot more competition to get people to watch your movie. On the plus side, if you're releasing your film on platforms like FilmHub, you can be sure that every view on your film will lead to money in your bank account. Back to my original point about standing out. Artwork and title sell. Those are the 2 most important things at the moment. From talking to indie filmmakers, from talking to sales agents and distributors, that's the thing that gets people looking at your film. We've entered a world where essentially you're making feature-length YouTube videos because you're looking for somebody who's going to be interested in that thumbnail, interested in that title, intrigued by it enough to either pay or just press play and start streaming your movie. So spend time on set taking lots of photos. These will help you in creating compelling artwork that leads the viewer to choosing your film. No one cares more than you. This can be hard to come to terms with. You're not going to have a massive fan base unless maybe you've done some crowdfunding and you've built up a bit of a following, or if you've done the thought before making the film and you have actually got a bunch of subscribers, a bunch of people who are eager to see your work. But really, you're going to be the person who cares most about your film. So you're going to have to be the main person singing its praises and trying to get people to watch it. Never be embarrassed to talk about your film, what you love about it, and why people should watch it. Make sure you get your cast and crew involved in promoting the film so you can reach as many people as possible. Your friends and family probably won't watch your movie. So you may have spent 2 years making this feature film and absolutely love it, but don't rely on friends and family to watch it. Don't see those as easy wins, because they're not. Oftentimes they're harder to persuade to watch a film than they are a genre fan or someone who casually downloads movies or buys movies on Amazon. So don't rely on family and friends to watch your film. You'll need to do more than just promote to them. Find the genre fans, find the right audience, and you'll get more eyes on your movie. But my next one would be cherish the ones that do watch your film. So really cherish those people who go out of their way on release date to watch your film and to talk about it, because they're the people you need to go back to next time. And they're also, if they're fellow filmmakers, you need to return that favour and you need to watch their film when it comes out. Thank them, shout out to them on social media and ask them to share the movie. You probably won't make any money. This is a tough one to hear, but it's true. Indie filmmakers rarely make more back than their budget, which is why a lot of indie filmmakers are going as low as they can with production costs, so they've got a chance of earning some profit. Don't be put off by this. Obviously, you want to make your film. Your film might be the next best thing since sliced bread, so you need to get it shot, but don't rely on that cash coming back. That can be particularly difficult when you're dealing with private investors. You need to be really realistic with what the chances are of them getting their cash back and their investment and how much realistically they might make on that film. Keep your budget as low as possible, have great artwork, a great title, and spend time working on promotion. Help people find your film and you'll be one of the filmmakers that do make money from your project. You might have to pay for promotion. Now, I'm not just talking about getting maybe a PR person involved. I'm talking about these days you have to pay content creators, reviewers, a lot of review sites now, you need to pay them to review your movie. It's worth seeing if you can send it out first to all of the ones that don't charge, but on the bigger sites, you might pay for a review. You might then pay extra if you want that review on the homepage, or you might pay even more if you want that sort of as a special feature on the homepage. So really, you need to factor these costs in when you're making the film, because you are going to pay to get it promoted. Look for hooks to get media and influencers interested in your project. Share scenes from the film, give influencers and websites exclusives to release, offer them something special. Podcasts are also a great way to have a longer conversation about your film and get someone engaged in you and your story. Podcasts are a great way to have a longer conversation about your film and get someone engaged in you and your story. I hope that was useful. I'd love to know your brutally honest truths that you've learnt yourself about distribution, so please do let me know what they are. So if you're specifically interested in distribution, then check out the episodes with Rosa Camero and also Jason Horton if you're thinking about self-distributing. Thanks for listening.